Okay, since a couple of you have asked, this is gonna be a video, quick little rundown of my one dagger build right now. Since everyone in the fucking nine wants to reroll to spear because it's the flavor of the month, and they want to hold a long fucking girthy rod in their hands, both hands. I'm gonna hold my ground, guys. I'm gonna stand up for us and flex my little 2-inch twig, right? Also, by no means is this gonna be the be-all and end-all PvP build for one dagger in tier 1. There are alternative builds out there. There's a ton of different ways to build this class, and that's kind of what I like about it. So far from what I've seen from the other creators that have put their builds out there, they have their own playstyle, and that build pretty much reflects their playstyle. Now, with that said, this is the one that works for me and the one that I'm going to be sticking with until tier 2, because I'm broke right now. I have like 900 Lucent, and I don't want to swipe for Lucent to get minimal gains or like fucking switch up my build to counter spear, because I don't care enough. Literally, like tier 2, surely Copium is around the corner, right? Surely, guys, on Tuesday, when this video comes out, in the coming Tuesday, surely Tico says, guys, we're gonna get tier 2 and the new masteries. I couldn't care less about Talandre, right? Maybe Talandre too, but surely we get tier 2 and the new masteries on the Thursday, right? After Tico talks. Surely. So, yeah, right now, I'm not making any changes to my build. This is it until tier 2. Now, couple disclaimers about one dagger, more so, about what you should expect to be doing and what you shouldn't expect to be doing in GvG scenarios, right? I don't really care about Dominion or Arena or ganking in nighttime dungeons, world boss fights. I mean, I don't really enjoy it all that well. And large scale PvP like Siege in general is a fucking shit show, so I don't really care about that either. So yeah, just again, couple disclaimers. This is strictly GvG focused. Boonstone, Riftstone, whatever. So firstly, to make this work in GvGs, you need to coordinate very well with your team, your party. Because if you don't, you're literally griefing the rest of your guild, because this class is poo-poo. There's way better classes out there in regards of like healing and damage, You won't be top fragging, you won't be doing top heals, you're not going to be doing top damage. So if you're trying to play for ego and you want that ego boost of, being high up on leaderboards and stuff, this class is not it, right? In reality, right now, if you play one dagger, I'm gonna be completely fucking honest, it's absolute dog shit. At best, it's slightly below average. Yeah, but personally, I find it a ton of fun. Every other class is boring as fuck to me. So, if you're a bit retarded, yeah, feel free to enjoy this class. Now, if you are doing top damage, top kills, top healing, or whatever in your GvGs as one dagger, you're either a fucking freak or everyone else is absolutely dog shit. Chances are it's 1090 in favor of the latter. So, what do you actually do as a one dagger if you're not going to be doing damage and shit and all of that, top healing, whatever? What do you actually do? So, you're going to sit in your little cut chair in the corner and you're going to enable pretty much the rest of your party to pop off. Right? Your job, or at least with how I play in my guild, is to set up engages, buff your bombers, and help your healer keep them alive while they do their thing. You're basically going to be the cameraman. It's a fucking CCTV angle over here at one dagger. You can do chip damage if you can, if you find the time to be able to get that damage off, but chances are if you're up against any competent guild, they probably won't let you. Or, I mean, to be honest, the damage is pretty fucking negligible anyway, even with Tevent Wand, so, yeah. I'm stealth on the left side. I'm looking at that backline here. You wanna go in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Motion is up. Oh.
Look left.
There was up on the left.
Anti. Holding it. Nice, go single target now.
Imminence, my target.
Yeah.
Nice, he's dead. Next.
Nice. Next, Hibish.
Yeah.
Motion is out now, be careful. Yeah, we are already kind of a left side. Because our raid is going right.
I'm
careful.
stealth. I'm stealth on top of the ramp as well.
Just do a sleep and we'll go in.
The slap in the back here.
I got pulled. I'm
Look
gonna.
at the sleep, look at the sleep.
Nice, I'm going to sleep.
So shit.
Devotion up in
My target.
Devotion down in 5, 4,
Yeah, he's tilted.
3, 2. No devotion, no devotion, no devotion.
Yeah, I'm
My
on top
target?
of you guys. I'm on top of everyone here. I can smoke when needed.
My target.
Healing ground on
Yep.
me.
This is kind of the opposite here. There are a lot.
I'm going right side actually.
Side.
I'm going right side here.
Yeah.
Yeah, look right side.
The slap.
Look at the
Nice.
slip.
Yeah,
He
going
had
in.
potion.
I'm fucking silenced out here.
A smoke screen on me.
I'm anti-healing as well on the wall.
Nice.
My target, Northern Wind,
Fair.
he's tilted.
My fucking melee evasion, dude.
Oh yeah, between
Kill,
us.
kill on top of me.
Second
Staff
down.
dagger.
Oh, Phoenix, I'm trying to talk
I
to you.
anti-hit him. Thank you.
Careful, guys.
DPS
I'm
taking
inside
the
them.
Go
I
in
could-
the middle, in the middle. They're all in the middle.
They're all
Going
stuck
to the
in
right
the
side.
Look at
They're
the
going
slip,
right
look
side.
at the slip.
Bro, like,
I don't see many anymore on south. I only see two people.
No, like kind of
Yeah,
like southwest. There's a lot of them in southwest. Yeah, like they're moving
yeah,
in
they're
now.
on the hill right now.
Yeah.
They're moving.
Come here, guys. Come here.
I'm inside them, I'm inside them.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
That's up, that's up, that's up, that's up, that's up.
Potion. I see the. Stun them.
Might be dead here. I let them drinking. But yeah, that is pretty much your job as one dagger. Now, let's talk about the gear. So, in regards to the gear itself, our main goal with our gear is to stack as much hit chance and as much attack speed as we can, right? Now, why is this important? Well, obviously hit chance, because you need to land your skills on your targets, right? This can be negated if you just target smartly, right? If you don't target classes that you know will be running magic evasion, so pretty much like, let's say staff daggers, bow daggers, they'll most likely be running magic evasion because the gear that gives magic evasion is good for them. So the 2-piece shadow harvester, I'm pretty sure bow daggers use this as well. Again, magic evasion. Pretty sure they use this too, magic evasion, and then there's another chest piece that they use that gives magic evasion as well. So but yeah, I like to play it safe and run a fairly high, I mean, this isn't even super high, but you know, this is a good amount of hit chance to have. And then attack speed, because attack speed reduces the cast time on our skills. So the main thing this affects for us as a damage dealing one dagger is going to be the corrupted magic circle. With this build, I do switch between two builds, but with this build, with the 1.3k hit chance with the wand equipped, we have 15% attack speed, and then I also run the scorpion tail fritters that give an extra 3%. So it's basically an 18% attack speed increase, and corrupted magic circle has a, let's say, we could say that's like a 1.2 second cast time. And then I do switch to, okay, well, I was using this to level up some alt weapons, but with this build, we have 28% attack speed, and again with the scorpion tail fritters, we get, I guess 31%. But there are diminishing returns to attack speed, so just because we basically doubled our attack speed doesn't mean we half the time of corrupted magic circle. If you remember, with the higher attack chance gear, it's a 1.2 or 1.3 second cast time, but when we double our attack speed to 31%, it only decreases, as you can see from the cast bar, by 0.1 of a second. I don't know if it's just a placebo effect, but the animation does look faster, even though you only lose 0.1 of a second. I could be tripping, but yeah, it feels a lot faster, but I do like having the extra hit chance. With this build though, you do get 50 strength, or I can run 50 strength, which gives us 285 heavy attack, which isn't super high. I could switch out, I think it's in the braces or the belt. It's one of these two, and just run, is it this? Yeah, I could just run 3 of these to get an extra 50, but I kind of like the attack speed. So, I mean, I guess if we're at 28% already, without buffs, I could afford to lose this under 400 health to gain 50 heavy attack. But I haven't tested it out yet. Plus, I haven't been grinding my runes, so I've been slacking. So, that is the gist of the gear and our stat priorities. We are also going to be running Range of Magic Evasion, like I said, because the damage that comes from Shadow Harvesters and the bonus hit chance, I guess, from these two gloves are insane value to us. So yeah, and then again, the 4 perception is pretty good on this chest piece as well, and the max health is really nice. So you get like pretty much 1.6k extra HP just from this chest piece alone. With this set piece though, I do switch out that chest for the Phantom Wolf tunic, mainly for the stats to hit the 50 strength. We do lose out on health, and my magic evasion isn't as high because I was playing around with buff duration in this. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not running melee defense gear. Well, like I said, I am fucking cheap. I do not want to be re-rolling my gear every fucking time the meta changes. I'm kind of building for myself and what I want to do rather than building to constantly counter the flavor of the month. Because at that point, I mean, you're going to waste a ton of lucent, right? You know, unless you're a whale, then you don't give a fuck then, right? You know, go do whatever you want. But for me, this is what I want to do. So yeah, I want to do damage and I want to get off as quick as possible. So I run an attack speed build or a high hit chance build. I'm not going to dive into the individual pieces because you guys can just look at that in the quest log that I'll link down below. The runes are going to be there as well. Again, not going to explain too much about it because yeah, I've said what stats we need. But the part that I will go into is the skills, the skill options that we have. Masteries, not so much because this will change copium on my dick, but I hope this changes soon because we get the new masteries. But I'm not going to go through this because it's going to be irrelevant pretty soon, hopefully. You know, we're on high as fucking copium right now, but I just hope it does change soon. So for the skills, I do rotate, between two different setups. One is more single target focused and one is more, I guess, AoE heavy. So like I said, our main role is to engage for our team. So the sleep spread combo is mandatory here. Stealth is mandatory pretty much in all builds as one dagger, PvP wise. And then obviously your dots, so Touch of Despair, Corrupted Magic Circle, and Curse Explosion is mandatory. And the main heal that we're gonna have is Swift Healing. Again, so to buff and debuff our enemies, to buff our crossbow daggers, I'm using Valorous Barrier, which is a 92 max damage increase, which is nuts. This is like a 30% damage increase on the top end for our crossbow daggers. And then I use Phantom Smokescreen, the smoke bomb, to pretty much either protect myself or my DPS. So sometimes what I'll do is, obviously I'm the first one in the enemy blob, so I sleep spread and then I'll drop this right on top of me because I know our crossbows is going to be on top of me or somewhat near me, right? And they'll jump in on that sleep and spin. So this kind of just helps them more or less guarantee that they get their spin off without getting interrupted. Sometimes they get fucked, but it is what it is. But this is kind of minimalizing that, you know, that chance that they do get fucked over. You'll see me as well sometimes in like these fights. I'll say like, oh, you'll see me running to my crossbow if I see they're low and drop this on top of them to kind of help mitigate some damage while I try and top them up with swift healing.
Devotion up in
My target?
devotion down
Left
5, 4,
Yeah, he stealthed it.
3, 2. No devotion, no devotion, no devotion.
Yeah, I'm
My
on top of
target?
you guys. I'm on top of everyone here. I can smoke bomb when needed.
My target?
Healing ground on
Yep.
me.
But yeah, that is something you can do with this as well, especially with the assassin step passive. Depending on how competent your group is and the amount of kills you guys are able to get, this will be up for the majority of the fight, and that just helps you position a lot faster to reach your, I guess, DPS if, you know, they do need smoke screen or if you need to run to them to get swift healing off. You know, this is very important. Everything else is bog standard here. Range, magic evasion increase, crit chance, crit damage, curse duration increase, dot duration increase, and skill heal increase. For corruption, again, depending on how good your party is, you will be getting kills. So for me, this is pretty much max stacks for pretty much the whole fight. Or like from the very beginning, from the get-go, this will be fully stacked. Right, so I get that increase, 120 max damage increase right away. Now, the ones that you can switch out is Vampiric Contract. For the most part, I just run Saint's Oath because I don't really bother, but you can take Noble Revival because there's going to be, I mean, for me, I have 7k mana, so this is going to be a 21% increased skill heal flat. I don't need to worry about RNG. This one has higher top end potential. You can get up to 75%, but this is RNG because it's a 20% chance to increase it, and you need to take skill damage to activate it. So just depending on what you want to do, you know, if you are pumping more damage out, maybe you can do this because it makes your curse damage heal your allies. So really up to you. But everything else is pretty much mandatory, or I mean pretty much preference for me to run. The ones that I would say are mandatory are this top row and pretty much these here. And if you're gonna run this, you might as well run this. So the only optional one, I guess, is this that you can switch out. I did think about Destructive Fang, but then 128 reduction to all the defenses. It's pretty fucking shit. This shit is so negligible. If it's stacked, maybe. But if it's just a flat reduction of 128, like, we have like 1k, almost 2k. 128 isn't gonna do shit. So, yeah, I kind of just ignore that one. This one, if I was running poisons, which I'll go over in a sec, could have some value, but then it's not really worth losing any of these. Maybe this if you want to go full balls deep and you don't want to heal, sure. But if I am playing this AoE large scale build, I'd rather, you know, get the easy wins where I can and not have to rely on this, right? This, like, your curse combo is pretty much enough damage for what you need to do, which is to basically just soften up the enemies so the crossbows can kill them a lot faster. That's pretty much it. You're not really aiming to kill people with this. If you do, fucking great. But for the most part, you'll just chunk them for, like, let's say a third or half their HP. And then your crossbows it just makes your crossbows get kills a lot easier. Now, I don't know how many people know this. Maybe I'm gonna fuck over our guild, but, you know, hopefully this video doesn't blow up and no one watches this. But time for punishment and burning time, right, can be spread with Karmic Haze. So that means with me and my engages, I would use time for punishment, sleep, and Karmic Haze. So that means every target that gets slept will also have a reduction to their skill damage resistance. And if I use burning time, this means that our crossbows, every time they hit someone affected by burning time, which is basically going to be everyone sleeping, or even if they resist the sleep, they'll still be hit with this. Every tick of damage they get from the crossbow spin reduces their mana by 50. So even if we don't kill them, we are gonna drain their mana so quick that they'll be useless. They'll just be a body bag running around with 0 mana. Right? So that is the main combo that I like to do. I mean, that's what I like to do for the most part, but realistically, I'd rather just insta-sleep because for the most part, we get kills anyway. And then I just use burning time if we're calling out a single target healer and just drain his mana instantly because we're going to have like 2 crossbows single targeting the healer. His mana is going to go down insanely quick if he has burning time on him. So yeah, those are the 2 ways you can use burning time. You can burning time sleep Karmic Haze, or just burning time a single target that you're focusing down. Now the skills that I do kind of switch out every now and then is going to be knife throwing and Fountain of Life. Knife throwing though, I kind of keep this on for the most part all the time now, just because it's pretty much an AoE healing reduction and movement speed reduction on a very low cooldown, so I can just spam this, right? I'm running cooldown reduction, effect duration increase, and additional hit on this. So it's just going to hit more targets, and I get to spam it a lot more, and the duration is going to be up a lot more as well. I'm just going to actually see how long this lasts for on targets and how long the cooldown is. So obviously target dummies aren't going to be an accurate representation, but because, you know, players will be running debuff reduction. So on dummies, this lasts for 8 seconds on a 12-second cooldown, or I guess 13.5 with my build. So there's a 4-second, I guess, gap to where they won't have this buff. But for the most part, I'll just be spamming it off cooldown to have the healing reduction and movement speed reduction, right? And then I guess with like debuff reduction, the duration could reduce, let's say, to like 6 seconds, 5 seconds. But even then, you know, just having an AoE or like multi-target hit, healing reduction and movement speed reduction is pretty huge. So I kind of keep this on at all times now and just throw it out there into a group of people. Yeah, that's just value right there. Now, the one that I do switch out every now and then is Fountain of Life. I kind of switch it out to Inject Venom, which is kind of grief, I'll be fucking honest, because trying to stack this as one dagger is a nightmare. If they made it so that your dot tick stacked poison, that would be fucking nuts, right? If Touch of Despair ticks increase this, holy shit, then yeah, I definitely take this more. But yeah, if I'm not running that with the effect duration increase, I will run Fatal Stigma just for, you know, that single target focus healing reduction, which also stacks with knife throwing. So let's say we're focusing down a healer, or, you know, I want to kind of secure healer kills. I'll run both of these. But lately I've just been playing around with Fountain of Life just to get that little bit more sustain. I could run Invincible Ward as well, but I'd just rather use this. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the AoE GvG build. I do run a single target build, which more or less follows the same principle. Again, I do run knife throwing, which I do kind of swap with Fatal Stigma as well, for pretty much the same reasons. I still run Valorous Barrier, I still run Burning Time. The only difference is I don't really run Smoke Bomb, but I use Cleaving Moonlight, because this does a decent amount of damage. I can hit people for like 800 with this twice, right? Well, yeah, attacks the target 3 times, so 800 times 3, that's 2,400, right? And then I can use that twice with consecutive use. That's like a 5k hit. And then, actually, I'm not doing it here, but, well, it's going to be more in my solo PvP, but in my solo PvP, I run Inject Venom, and Inject Venom with Cleaving Moonlight, you can actually get decent stacks of Inject Venom, and then when you use Touch of Despair and Decaying Touch, which is Corrupted Magic Circle, the specialization there, which makes it single target, you could get a pretty huge curse explosion. Like, you can just straight up one-shot people with 3 Touch of Despair stacks, Decaying Touch, and, you know, let's say like even 10 stacks of poison with Cleaving Moonlight, you know? So that's what I kind of like to do. I do run this in GvG sometimes. Sometimes I'll even take this out and just run poisons. You know, if I feel like I'm not really utilizing this on my DPS as much, which I do still forget to use sometimes, so it's kind of grief. I do need to switch this out. But yeah, if we do run poisons, I do take Murderous Energy. If not, I was playing around with Destructive Fang, but for the most part, you can just take Vampiric Contract as well. All the passives are pretty much the same, so yeah, everything else is the same, is just switched over. I still have my sleep spread because, like I said, I am still going to be engaging, but with this I have more potential to single out some DPS targets and just completely one-shot them. And for the most part, they won't expect it because I'm a fucking one dagger. No one plays this class, right? Especially at like the higher tier of guilds. Yeah, no one really fucking plays this. Like, I'm the only one that plays this in my guild. We have another one. He came back. My coach, you know, Fossir. He came back, but he's Spear Dagger, Spear Wand. So, yeah, I think I'm the only one left that touches this. I haven't seen any other guild, like any other top EU guilds that play a one dagger. At least in our GvGs. So, there you go. Okay, I wasn't originally gonna include this, but because I know someone's gonna fucking ask, I'm gonna do it anyway. But this is gonna be the solo PvP kind of, you know, arena, nighttime dungeon ganking dominion build, right? It's gonna be very similar to the single target group build, but we're not gonna run any of the buffs. We're not gonna run Valorous Barrier. We're not gonna run Burning Time. Instead, we double up on the healing reduction with Fatal Stigma and knife throwing, and we also start running poisons. And with that said, we also take Murderous Energy and then Vampiric Contract for extra healing, because we're not going to be in a party, right? So all the healing that goes from Vampiric Contract is going to heal us, which is fucking nuts, right? And all the passives are going to be the same. The key difference here, I guess, is that Cleaving Moonlight, we do take the Thundercloud, right? We're gonna take the Thundercloud specialization, because for the most part we need some time to set up our dots on our target. So we're gonna be, you know, spamming Touch of Despair. We're gonna be like, let me just show you. So we pop Poison, Touch of Despair, spam that, Knife Throwing, Poison again, Touch of Despair, Fatal Stigma, Sleep, Bomb. That's gonna be our combo. I'm not gonna do that again because I don't want to wait for cooldowns, but yeah, that's basically gonna be our combo. For the most part, if you're not targeting a bow, and if you survive long enough to stack all of that with your healings and stuff, your perfect dodges, your cloak, you will one-shot someone, right? Because the endurance reduction on this is kind of nuts. You know what? I'll do the combo again just to see how many poison stacks we can get up and how many thundercloud stacks we can get up, right? So we do this, right? We just keep auto attacking. Ideally, you'd have your your dagger out, poison again. So you get 20 stacks, fatal stigma. Let's just refresh the dot. So yeah, I mean, that wasn't the cleanest combo, but you get the idea. We got 13 stacks of thunderclouds and 20 stacks of inject venom. I guess the initial start, let's see, inject venom. Whoop. Okay, yeah, we can get 40, and then with a couple of auto attacks, we can get 20 pretty quick. And then we pop it. And then this, fatal stigma. Yeah. So there you go. That is the single target example. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but that's what it is. So yeah, because I just know someone's gonna fucking ask. Someone's gonna be like, but what about Dominion? What about Arena? What do we build? There you go. Have fun. But yeah, with that said, guys, if you want to play one dagger as a damage class, you're kind of fucked, because one, right now your damage doesn't do fuck all, and two, you kind of need Tevent to do damage. So yeah, this class is kind of fucked. I'll be real. Hopefully the mastery save us. You know, hopefully you don't need Tevent one, but yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys remember Granton on one of their tier lists saying that, you know, a dagger class can go up or down a tier depending on, you know, how good the player is. I can confidently say right now that like one dagger is like the prime victim of that. Because if you don't have hands, you can go from A tier all the way down to fucking F tier, bro. You might as well not play the class at that point. Like, that's not me trying to brag about my abilities. Like, I wouldn't consider myself like a super good player, right? But yeah, I can see how this class can be absolutely fucking useless. And for the investment that you need in getting a Tevent wand, and since the announcement of the new masteries, guys, Tevent wand has gotten cooked. Okay, it's kind of going back down actually, but this was as low as like 16k at one point, and then now it's gone back to double. This was like shooting up to like 30k, like 40k, right? A couple days ago, but obviously it's going back down now. But as soon as like people get their hands on like Staff Wand, when the masteries come out, I can almost guarantee that Tevent Wand is going to increase in price. Like if Staff Wand is as good as people say, right? And if one dagger is as good as like I think it could be, then shit, like the value that I have with this is just gonna skyrocket. All right, well, that is pretty much my one dagger build. If you are just starting out and you're considering playing one dagger, be wary. You won't do as much damage as you potentially could, because Tevent Wand is a big force multiplier in our damage. So yeah, if you do start playing one dagger, I highly recommend going another build that just focuses, that primarily focuses on healing, right? Go for the Excavator Wand, because that juices up your swift healing. But yeah, there is a lot of investment and I guess a lot of skill needed to make one dagger DPS work in a GvG setting. Maybe the new masteries can change that, but I can't comment on that quite yet. So yeah, that is going to be the end of the video. If you guys found this informative, educational, if you found any value in this, if you liked it, if you want to hear me yap more, subscribe, leave a like. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you are one dagger, let me know what build you're running. I'm interested to see what's up there. But yeah, I also do plan on streaming over on Twitch, so I'm gonna leave the Twitch link down below. by the time this video goes up, I am most likely going to be live. I'll be streaming the GvG that we have tonight. And yeah, come through if you want to hang out and just chill. Ask any questions. I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. Like I said, I do not play in Korea, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with Talandre. So yeah, no questions like that, please. Thank you. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for the 100 subs, all the comments that you leave and shit. I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, enjoy this GvG that we had with Chaos the other day.
Oh, is this treasure grab?
What?
Everyone's
happened?
lining up as pigs. Oh my god.
We're ruining it. I know it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
We actually have
God.
enough people to cover the whole thing.
What, you guys?
Come and look here, Wagon. What's
Oh
happening?
my god.
Even they are fucking morphing, dude.
Oh, this is funny.
Everyone follow whoever is ahead of you, and then just one guy move.
What the fuck? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Clockwise, clockwise, clockwise.
I don't know what's wrong with us.
Wait, KX is dead. Oh, he's out there.
He's been dead for a while.
Yeah, I'm lying on the floor with my dog.
It's over now.
Yeah.